Tampa comes here. In a division with the Yankees and the Red Sox, they are 500 as a team. You look at the players they have and how they manage that franchise brilliantly. The guy who owns it's the smartest guy going. Look at that team with what they accomplish. Who gets more out of a roster than Tampa does? They're 500 in a division with two teams that are great. 500 in that division. You take a look at that lineup, you wouldn't even think you want anybody in that lineup on the team, and they get it done. Do they have pitching? Yes. But they also have a lot of guys who just fit. Amazing what that team has done. Really is. Vin in Babylon, what's up, Vin?
Hey, Mike, how you doing? You know, as a quick aside, I thought exactly the same thing as I watched Atlanta the last few days. They're tough outs.
No, they're very good players.
Little team.
They're not a little team. They're a good team.
They're a good team. I mean, you know, you watch they're real tough at bats. They don't give in at bats. Similar to Boston, similar to Houston. You know, they're going to be. You can see they're a really young, enjoyable team.
Oh, nice team. Camargo's a good player. Go down the line. Albies obviously has had a huge year. You got Markakis having a career year. Freeman's one of maybe the most underrated player in baseball. Suzuki has good. First of all, Suzuki hits at Yankee Stadium all the time, as everyone knows. But Suzuki gets good at bat after good at bat after good at bat. I mean, they're, you know, obviously, you know what Acuna is. I mean, they have a very, very good young team. Very good team. And a nice little sprinkle there because you got a couple of veteran guys in the middle of the anchoring the lineup. And some good young players. I mean, very good young players. I thought even the shortstop, Swanson, had good at bat. Hey, I thought he had a great at bat against Chapman. And I even thought the 3-2 that they called a strike three, might have been. I couldn't tell because I was towards the dugout. I couldn't tell if that was a good call or not on the 3-2. He was upset. I thought it was outside. I couldn't really tell, but he got him on a slider on a 3-2 pitch after fouling off a bunch of fastballs. I mean, he fouling off 104 into the net. I mean, that's pretty. I mean, hitting it well. John in New Jersey, what's up, John?
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Good. What's happening?
Hey, with the Yankees, I mean, they are so reliant, it seems, on the long ball. Do you think down the stretch, closer to October, when they're facing some quality pitchers, do you think that's going to hurt them?
I mean, it can. All right, listen, they don't have a bunch of guys. I mean, if you have a runner on second and one out, and you have Stanton and Judge coming up, you have as good a chance as they're going to strike out as anything else, okay? They're not going to hit. They're most likely not going to dunk one into center field. They might hit one over the fence, but they might not dunk it into center field. Yes, they are built that way. Yes, they're going to have bad at-bats. They're going to have bad at-bats during rallies. They're going to have bad at-bats, you know, but they're also going to wreck games with the home run. That's who they are. I mean, so you just take that into account. They hit a ton of home runs. Are they the best team at putting the bat on the ball? No, they're not. Is Stanton going to have some ugly at-bats? Yeah, he is. Is Judge? Yeah. They're going to swing at balls in the dirt. They're going to swing at bad pitches? Yeah, they are. They're going to strike out a lot. So from that standpoint, can I say that you're wrong? No. Stuart in Brooklyn. What's up, Stuart?
Hi, Mike. How you doing?
Good. What's up?
I've been hearing reports that the Yanks are close to getting Happ from Toronto.
Yeah, I mean, you're hearing a lot of reports. He's a guy that they're interested in. I don't know that he's any more than they're interested in other guys, but I think he's a guy that will not cost them a tremendous amount. He will not have to give up one of their special guys to get him. Yeah. That's the thing.
Who would you like to see them get?
Myself, I mean, I would rather. I like Happ. I like Happ above a lot of guys of that group. I like Happ a lot. I've always been a Happ fan. I think he pitches well he'll pitch well against the Yankees. I've seen him do that. I think he can pitch well against the Red Sox. I think I would trust him in a game. Obviously, you're still hoping you can get better than that. We'll see if you can. Do I think that they're going to get the ground? I don't. I never did. Is Syndergaard going to be available? Maybe. I'm sure people are going to be calling about Wheeler, the way he's been throwing. I know someone. I didn't have to see. I didn't have to go one more start before someone's going to bring up Matt Harvey because people are so fascinated with him. They can't help but bring up Matt. Matt Harvey throws one good game, and people bring up Matt Harvey. If I'm the Yankees, I don't want to go down that road. Plus, to me, I have to see more. Has Harvey thrown well his last couple of starts? He has. Will somebody trade for him in the pennant race? Probably. Because you know what? When someone was that good in the past, they'll hope that he can, just find his way back to something close to what he was. Now, he's still got a lot to prove. He's got to start this weekend against the Cubs, as an example. He's still allowing a lot of home runs. It's not like he is. Listen, his last couple of starts have been good. And all it takes is 2 starts with him. All it takes is 2 starts for people to get excited because he's Matt Harvey, especially here, because everyone will get excited. But I think that the most logical thing is for them to get a guy that's not going to cost them that much, because I think the Yankees don't want to part with their top prospects. And other teams are going to say, wait a second, I have to really get someone. I have to get some of these guys, Now, I'm not talking about Torres. We know Torres is untouchable, but even Andujar, who the Yankees don't want to part with. So it's not easy to get players of that ilk. So most likely you're going to settle for pitchers that are on a less of a level. And they're available, and there'll be more of them available. I've been hearing a lot about Milwaukee. And Milwaukee's got a farm system that has some good position players in it. They have a center fielder. They have a second baseman who's high on the list. Don't ask me the names. I can't remember the names. I just know they have a second baseman, and they have a outfielder who I believe is a center fielder that everybody likes, that they have very highly rated. So a guy that was compared favorably to Granderson as a young player. That was the guy they used as a player that they were comparing him to. So stuff like that's possible. I mean, there's a team the Mets could work with very easily. Yvonne in Rocky Point, what's up?
Hi, Mike. How are you?
Good. What's happening?
I have 2 points to make, maybe. As far as the Yankees, that ball really seems to be carrying out of right field.
It always does, though. It always does.
It seems in this new stadium it carries more.
It has since it opened, though. I mean, that's not new. Everybody knows it. It has since it opened. It's been like that. The ball carries very well to right center field in Yankee Stadium. Does not carry nearly as well to left center field. It carries very, very well to right center field.
Yeah. And as far as Tampa Bay, with their innovative pitching technique that they were using against the Yankees, bringing a guy in every couple innings.
Only with their bad starters, not with their good starters.
Yeah, but didn't Tampa Bay start the shift? Is my mind serves me correct?
Madden was one of the first one. No one started. Listen, I saw the shifts when I was a kid. I saw the shifts in the 1960s. It was used against certain players in the 1960s who were dead.
I never did. I never.
Oh yeah,
Tampa
absolutely.
Bay, I remember.
I saw many guys hit into the shift when I was a kid. I saw teams shift. Now they didn't do it. They did it for big lumbering type guys. They did it for the Boog Powells of the world. They did it for the Willie McCoveys of the world. They didn't do it for a lot of guys, but they did do it. And later years, they used to play Mantle right-handed way back on the grass. So they used to play him really deep too. They didn't shift as far as that was concerned as dramatically, but they did also play really deep, which is another part of the shift, is to have someone playing really short right field. Last 3 starts, Harvey's gone 6 innings and given up 2 earned runs. 6 2/3, given up 1 earned run. 5 2/3 and given up no earned runs. So that's 12, 17, 18 innings, 3 earned runs. So pretty good for him. Those are the last 3 starts. All 3 wins. And that has, at least opened people's eyes. Now, if you go back for the season, he's got a 4.9 ERA and a 1.25 whip. In his last 7 games, his whip is 1.1, and his ERA is 4.31. So it's really been the last couple of games that he has, done better as far as that's concerned. And obviously done that with Cincinnati, where he's 4-3 so far. He's pitched 53 innings there. He's given up 47 hits. In 50 innings, he's allowed 7 home runs, which that has been dramatically dropped because the last couple he hasn't given up home runs. So that's what's dropped it. So he's pitched better. Jim in Vernon, New Jersey. What's up, Jim?
Good afternoon, Mike.
What's happening?
I can't remember for the life of me if I made this up or if I heard it on a radio station, but my opinion about Yoenis Cespedes is that he has lied about his age or it's been falsified at some point.
Who knows?
Because of the country.
Yeah, but
now, if you disagree,
who knows?
go ahead.
I have no idea. I have no way of knowing you're right or wrong. I have no way of knowing.
True. Yeah. It's just something that I thought it makes sense with all the injuries.
Well, listen. All you're saying is something that's been, rumored about players from that part of the world for years. No one knows if it's true or not. I can't tell you that his age is accurate or inaccurate. I can't tell you that. All I can tell you is that he's not. All I can tell you is he's not playing.
That's a great point. Great point.
Well, the point. I mean, I can't. No one, Jim. No one can say that you're right or wrong because they just don't have any accurate records. All right. So, I mean, you want to say he's older than he is? Go ahead. Chris in Long Beach. What's up, Chris?
Hey, Mike. I got a question for you about the Mets. I'm not even going to get into this year, but overall, the history of the team, as a fan, I am so frustrated by their lack of developing everyday productive position players. And, if you look at the franchise offensive stats, I mean, it's David Wright, who's a really good player. He's had a really nice career, but he's not a great player. What do you attribute across? Because
I think they always were a pitching for organizations. Some organizations were. They were much more interested in developing pitchers than anything else. I think that's true. It was true for a long time.
Who do we attribute that to now, though?
I don't think this is not a Sandy thing. I think this is just the luck of the draw. Also, they have had a habit of, unfortunately, at times sending away some guys who became very good players. They traded a very young Amos Otis, to the Kansas City, who went on to a tremendous career. They traded Jeff Kent, and he helped precipitate that by not being the easiest guy to get along with. Right. But the point is, they traded a Jeff Kent who's become almost a Hall of Famer at second base.
What do you
Darryl
think about
Strawberry
the new guys?
didn't have the career that everybody thought he would have. Right. I mean, so there have been players, some of them moved away, and, others that didn't work out for a variety of reasons.
Because I look at Nimmo, he's a good, solid player, but, I mean, he's our good young player that we're going to, he's the only guy who's kind of performed, where the shortstop, the first baseman, Conforto, unfortunately, all these guys have just not. I know that the shortstop and the first baseman.
Well, we don't know what Conforto. I mean, Conforto, we're not going to yet have a referendum on his career. It's a little early for that. We'll see what he becomes. But you're right. Listen, the Mets historically have had a very, very poor percentage and a very poor productivity in terms of producing top-level everyday players. That's a fact. Carl in Tom's River. What's up, Carl?
Hey, Mike. Hope you and your family had a happy 4th of July.
Yeah, you too. What's up?
I want to talk about Matt Harvey a little bit. These people that think Matt Harvey's going to come back to New York and all of a sudden just become a Black Knight again are just out of their minds. I mean, the guy was not performing before he left New York. He's pitching in relative obscurity now, and to think that he's just going to turn it around and throw on a Yankee uniform is insanity.
No, I don't think he is. I think what happens, though, is people bring him up because of the fact that they will trade him. If he continues to pitch well, he will get traded to a contender. There's no question. Cincinnati will trade him. They're not looking to keep him. On top of that, he has thrown better his last 3 starts, to be fair. That's all it is. His ERA in Cincinnati is 4.31. It's not knocking down. It's not knocking anybody down. It's not anything great. But he is 3-0 in his last 3 starts. He's given up 3 runs. Now he's only been at best a 6-inning pitcher. He did beat the Cubs one of those games. We'll see. He's pitching better. That's all it is. He's pitching better. He's not lights out. I don't think the Yankees are going after him. I think he could wind up in a contending situation if he continues to pitch this way, but his last couple of starts have been good. That's all. Scott in Jersey. What's up, Scott?
Hey, how you doing, Mike?
Good.
First of all, I just want to tell you that I'm a fairly new fan to the radio station, and I think that you're absolutely fantastic.
Well, I appreciate it.
I just disagreed a little bit about the Braves series with the Yankees. I thought the Yankees, other than that base hit at the end of the game in the 9th inning that would have been in the stadium, that would have won that first game, they would have swept the Braves. I think the success for these young guys.
Two of them were one-run games, and they didn't sweep the series. They lost the game. So I mean, there's no ifs in baseball. First of all, okay, there's no ifs.
Okay.
Right? They went 0 for 12 with runners in scoring position, and if they had swept them, it wouldn't have changed my mind. What I saw were a lot of players that I think are very impressive-looking players who had very good at bats. They battled back in games. They came, even in the second game of the series, they battled back. I thought they had good at-bats against Chapman. I was very impressed by a lot of guys on their team. I really was.
I was impressed, too, but I think young guys are much more impressed when they handle the success of that early stage in their career.
Well, it's not just young guys. They got a good mix because Markakis isn't young and Freeman isn't young and Suzuki aren't young. Those guys are right there in the middle of that order there, playing very well for them. Fitting in very well. I like the mix there. I like some of the young kids and the mix of having guys like Freeman, who could be an NL MVP this year. Suzuki's had a really good year. Markakis has had a career year. He's on his way to a career. He's got like 57, 58 RBIs. So he's had a tremendous year, Markakis, probably the best, so far the best year of his career. I think I was very impressed by them top to bottom. I like their lineup. I like the depth of their lineup. I thought they were good top to bottom. I thought they did I was impressed by some of the kids. I was impressed by, obviously everybody's impressed by Acuna, who's Omar told me in spring training is the pound for pound the number one prospect in all of baseball. He thought clearly the best player of the young guys. Now, there's a lot of great ones. Omar said that to me in February. He said, this kid right here, I think is the best prospect in all of baseball. So he loves Acuna, who's obviously coming off an injury, but has been impressive this year. We know what Albies has done. Camargo has done a good job at third base. I mean, so they've got some good players. Bobby and Belmore, what's up, Bobby?
Yes, hi, Mike. Those other two games for Milwaukee and Atlanta, two first-place teams that hardly look good at catch. But